I've always believed that a person's true character shows in how they treat people who can't do anything for them. My name is Emma Miller, and here's how I learned this to be true. Growing up, my parents taught me the value of hard work and humility. My dad worked as a janitor at a big tech company, and my mom cleaned houses for wealthy families. They worked tirelessly to make sure I could get a good education, often sacrificing their own needs for mine. Emma, sweetheart, my mom would say, her hands rough from years of scrubbing. Knowledge is the one thing no one can take away from you. Her words stayed with me as I worked through college, studying finance and computer science. By day, I attended classes, and by night, I cleaned offices like my dad. But I had a secret project that kept me motivated. I was creating a groundbreaking financial algorithm that could predict market trends with incredible accuracy. In my final year of college, while most students were out partying, I was perfecting my program. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, everything changed. My algorithm caught the attention of a major investment firm. They offered me $75 million for it and a spot on their board. I accepted the deal but kept my newfound wealth a secret. I continued living simply, investing wisely, and growing my fortune quietly. That's when I met James. We literally bumped into each other at a small cafe where I was working on my laptop. He accidentally spilled coffee on the table, narrowly missing my computer. "Oh no, I'm so sorry," he said, panicking and grabbing napkins. His reaction made me laugh. "It's okay," I said, helping to clean up. "I'm James. Please let me buy you another coffee," he offered. That coffee led to dinner, and dinner led to more. James was kind, funny, and down to earth. He worked as a high school teacher and was passionate about helping his students succeed. 6 months later, he proposed, and I happily said yes. Then I met his family. His mom, Patricia, lived in a big fancy house in an upscale neighborhood. Her husband had passed away, leaving her a large inheritance. From the moment we met, Patricia made it clear she didn't think I was good enough for her son. "A cleaner's daughter," she said, eyeing me over her wine glass. How quaint. "James, darling, I thought you were dating that lovely doctor's daughter, Caroline." "Mom," James said firmly enough. But it was clear she had already judged me. At every family gathering, Patricia made sure to remind me that I didn't belong. She asked me to help the catering staff, saying I feel more comfortable in the kitchen. When James tried to defend me, she'd laugh it off, claiming she was just trying to make me feel at home. Her daughter, Amanda, was no better. A successful real estate agent, Amanda loved showing off her wealth and pointing out my humble background. "Emma, dear," she'd say with a fake smile, "I have clients looking for a cleaning service. Should I give them your mom's number?" I brushed it all off, partly because I knew the truth about my wealth, but mostly because I wanted to see their true colors. James would squeeze my hand under the table and whisper apologies for his family's behavior, but he never truly stood up to them. What they didn't know was that I had my own plans. Quietly, I'd been buying properties all over the city, including one in Patricia's upscale neighborhood. The mansion next door to hers had been on the market for months. Through a series of shell companies, I bought it for $12 million. The annual family reunion was coming up, a 3-day event held at Patricia's house. But this year, things would be different. "James, honey," Patricia said at dinner a week before the reunion, "I've arranged the guest rooms. You'll stay in your old room, of course. Emma can use the basement. We need the good rooms for family who contribute to our gatherings." James shifted uncomfortably. "Mom, Emma is my wife. She should be grateful for whatever accommodation she gets." Patricia interrupted smoothly. "Besides, with her background, she's probably used to much worse." I simply smiled. "The basement will be fine, Patricia." She had no idea what was coming. The reunion started on Friday. Cars packed Patricia's driveway as family arrived. I helped carry luggage, served drinks, and endured the usual snide comments. That night, after everyone settled into their luxurious guest rooms, I headed to the cold, musty basement with my small suitcase. Through the vents, I heard Patricia's voice upstairs. "Can you believe she actually took the basement without complaining? I told James he should have married Caroline. She knows how to act in proper society." More laughter followed, but I didn't care. I checked my phone. A message from my property manager read, "Everything is ready for tomorrow's inspection, Mrs. Miller. The mansion next door has been fully furnished according to your specifications." I smiled in the dark. Tomorrow would be interesting. On Saturday morning, I woke up early and went upstairs. Patricia was busy ordering the catering staff around. "Oh, Emma, good," she said without looking at me. "Make yourself useful and help Maria with the dishes, and try to stay out of sight when the guests arrive." I caught James' eye as he walked into the kitchen. He looked uncomfortable but said nothing, just sipped his coffee. "I actually have an appointment this morning," I said, checking my watch. "An appointment? During our family reunion? How rude," Patricia exclaimed. Before James could defend me, Amanda burst in. "Mother, the Hendersons just pulled up, the ones who bought that gorgeous mansion next door. My biggest clients," she smirked at me. "The sale earned me millions in commission." "Wonderful," Patricia said. "Emma, before you leave, help serve the mimosas." I smiled. "I really have to go. My real estate agent is waiting." "Real estate agent?" Amanda scoffed. "What are you looking at? Studio apartments in the bad part of town." Just then, the doorbell rang. Patricia rushed to answer it, but I followed. Standing in the foyer was a sophisticated woman in a sharp suit. "Good morning, Mrs. Miller," she said, smiling at me. "The mansion is ready for your final inspection." The room went silent. Patricia's smile froze. "There must be some mistake," she stammered. "Emma isn't." "Emma Miller," I said, stepping forward. "Owner of the mansion next door." Amanda's glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the marble floor. "That's impossible," she gasped. "I handled that sale." "Through my shell corporation," I said, smiling sweetly. "I believe your commission check was quite substantial." James stared at me, his coffee cup suspended mid-air. "Emma, what's going on?" "Perhaps we should all sit down," I suggested, motioning toward the living room. "I have quite a story to share." Once everyone was seated, Patricia and Amanda perched on the edges of their seats like nervous birds. I began. 7 years ago, I developed a financial algorithm that sold for $75 million, I said calmly. Since then, my investments have multiplied several times over. The mansion next door is just one of the many properties I own. Patricia sputtered. "But you let us think that I was just a cleaning lady's daughter who married a nobody," I finished. "Yes, I did. And through that, you all showed me exactly who you are by how you treated someone you thought was beneath you." "This is ridiculous," Amanda snapped, standing up with her face flushed. "Mother, she's clearly lying." My real estate agent cleared her throat. "I can assure you, Mrs. Henderson, that Mrs. Miller's credentials are impeccable. In fact, she owns controlling interest in the development company that built this entire neighborhood." Patricia's face went from red to white. "The entire neighborhood," I confirmed, "including this house. I bought it last month when it was still under your late husband's estate. The paperwork was finalized yesterday." The room fell into stunned silence. James sank into his chair, his face full of shock. "You mean?" Patricia's voice trembled. "This isn't my house anymore." "It's mine," I said simply, "just like the basement where you made me sleep last night." Amanda jumped up. "Mother, she can't do this. We'll fight it in court." "You're welcome to try," I replied calmly, "but everything is perfectly legal. For now, I'd like you both to leave my house." "Leave," Patricia gasped. "But where will I go?" "This is my home." "Was your home," I corrected. "Don't worry. I've arranged temporary accommodations for you. There's a modest apartment available in the building where my parents used to work as janitors. I hear the basement unit is especially cozy." The family reunion dissolved into chaos. Relatives whispered among themselves, some shocked, others secretly pleased to see Patricia's pride come crashing down. James finally found his voice. "Emma, why didn't you tell me?" he asked quietly. I turned to him. "Would it have made a difference? Would you have stood up to your mother if you'd known I was wealthy? Because if money is what it takes for this family to show basic respect, then we have bigger problems than where I sleep." The real estate agent cleared her throat. "Mrs. Miller, shall we proceed with the inspection of your new property?" "Yes," I said, standing. "Patricia, I'll have my staff help you pack. You have until tomorrow evening to vacate the premises." As I walked toward the door, Patricia's voice turned desperate and pleading. "Emma, dear, surely we can talk about this. We're family, after all." I paused and turned back. "Family? Let's talk about family, Patricia. Last Christmas, you seated me at the children's table and told everyone it was because I wouldn't know how to behave with adults. Last month, You accidentally left me out of James' birthday celebration. And just yesterday, you made me sleep in the basement because you said I wasn't good enough for a proper room. I didn't mean, she stammered. Yes, you did, I said firmly. Every insult, every slight, every attempt to humiliate me, you meant all of it. You show me exactly who you are, Patricia. Now I'm showing you exactly who I am. The sound of my heels clicking on the marble floor echoed as I walked out, head held high. Behind me, I could hear Patricia's sobs and Amanda's angry protests. But I didn't look back. In the weeks that followed, Patricia and Amanda moved out as required, though not without causing drama. They hired lawyers, but as my legal team had assured me, every transaction was airtight. I moved into the mansion next door, leaving James to decide his own path. The separation gave me time to think about our marriage and what it meant to be with someone who hadn't stood up for me. One evening, about a month later, my security team informed me of a visitor. It was James. He looked more disheveled than I'd ever seen him. "Can we talk?" he asked quietly. I led him to my office, a cozy room with family photos on the walls, including one of my parents. James stared at it as he sat down. "I've been thinking about everything about us," he began. "I've also started seeing a therapist." I stayed silent, waiting for him to continue. "I failed you, Emma. Not just at the reunion, but every time I let my mom treat you like you were less than us. I told myself I was keeping the peace, but I was just being a coward." "Yes, you were," I said softly. He flinched but kept going. "I've been asking myself why you didn't tell me about your success." Then I remembered last Thanksgiving when Mom made that comment about your father being a janitor, and I laughed. I actually laughed. "That's when you were going to tell me, wasn't it?" I nodded. "I had the papers in my bag. But when I saw you laugh at your own father-in-law, I realized you were just like them." "I was," he admitted, "and that's my shame to carry. But since you left, things have changed. I resigned from my teaching position at Brighton Prep." This surprised me. James had worked there for years. "I took a job at Riverside High School instead," he continued. "It's in the neighborhood where you grew up. The kids remind me of you. Brilliant, determined, just needing someone to believe in them." He hesitated. "I also haven't spoken to my mom since she moved out. She and Amanda tried to turn the family against you, but it backfired. Others started speaking up about how she treated them. It's like your courage gave them permission to stand up too." I absorbed his words, noting the changes in him. "There's more," he said. "I've been volunteering at the community center where your mom used to work. They have a program teaching financial literacy to janitors and cleaning staff. I've been helping expand it." "Why are you telling me this, James?" "Because I want to earn back your respect," he said simply. "Not because of your wealth, but because you're the amazing woman I fell in love with. I was too weak to deserve you before. I want to be better." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Patricia. "Your mother's at the apartment building," I told James. "She's demanding to see me." "You don't have to go," he said quickly. "Actually, I think I do." I found Patricia in her basement apartment. Her designer clothes looked out of place against the plain concrete walls. "Hello, Patricia," I said. She looked up, her usual composure gone. "Emma," she whispered. "I understand now." "Understand what?" "What it feels like to be judged by where you live," she said, her hands trembling. "Yesterday I couldn't get a restaurant reservation because of my new address. I've been going there for 20 years. Feels awful, doesn't it?" I said. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "I've been horrible, not just to you, but to so many people. Living here, being treated like this, it's opened my eyes." "That was the point," I said gently. Her head snapped up. "This wasn't just revenge. No, revenge would have been leaving you homeless. This was about teaching you something." She sank onto the sofa. "I've lost everything, my home, my standing, my son." "You haven't lost James," I corrected. "He's just choosing to be his own man. Whether you lose him forever depends on whether you can accept that." "And you?" she asked hesitantly. "Have I lost you?" I studied her carefully. "That depends on you too, Patricia. Real change takes more than a few weeks of humility." "Will you help me?" she asked softly. "Not financially, I mean, help me learn to be better." For the first time, her voice held genuine vulnerability.